Okay, I mean this time. Then Bob Goblin says, "You there, tree, give me all your gold." "No gold, huh? Alright, well, give me all your rocks." "Ha!" Then Bob Goblin says, "Huh?" Then Bob Goblin says, "A horse! Perfect for Bandit Bob Goblin to make us get one. Yeah, horsey." Or when Bobby says, "Allow me to help." Then Bobby said, "You see, Lola, the dark will be not so bad as long as it doesn't have wolves or the phantom, the frog pond, or spiders, or ghosts, or monsters." Then Lola said, then she was really shaken. Then Kai said, Bobby, I'm not sure you're helping. Where Bobby says, "Don't worry, guys. The dark will be not so bad as long as it doesn't have spiders, or werewolves, or monsters, or the phantom, or spiders." And then Lola said, "Spiders." And then she was really shaken. Then Bobby said, "Well, maybe the mention of spiders wasn't a great idea." Or when Wally says, "Dragon with the mustache? Funny?" And the just like that when Bob Goblin says, "Yeah, horsey." Then Bob Goblin climbs on the house. Then Bob Goblin says, "Ah, whoa, 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 whoa." Where Bob Goblin says, "Easy, horsey, easy." Then Bob Goblin says, "Aha!" Then Bob Goblin says, "You there, help Bandit Bob Goblin slows his horsey down so he throws lasso." Then Bob Goblin says, "Use your finger tap the lasso." Then Bob Goblin says, "Got it, easy, horsey." And then Wally says, "There it is, Normal." Then Normal said, "What?" And then Wally said, "Bob Goblin, what are you doing at my house?" Then Normal said, "Yeah." And the just like that when Normal said, "Yeah." Then Bob Goblin says, "I am Bandit Bob Goblin, and this is my horse." And then Wally said, "Bob Goblin, it's my house." Then Bob Goblin says, "Nope, this is Bandit Bob's horse. His name is Horsey." Then Wally said, "Well, your horsey, it's my housey. It's where me and Normal lives." And then Normal said, "Yeah." And then Bob Goblin says, "You can't live in the horse? That's so funny. Plus, can a house do this?" Then Bob Goblin says, "Hey-ya!" Then Bob Goblin says, "Bandit Bob Goblin." Then Normal says, "Oh, no." Or when Pepper says, "Oh, Diamond Tiara." Then Diamond Tiara says, "I'm not home." Then Pepper said, "Yes, we did. We saw you." Where Diamond Tiara says, "Fine, I'm coming. What do you want?" Where Pepper says, "Diamond Tiara, good news. You got an invitation." Where Diamond Tiara says, "What's the invitation?" Where Pepper says, "It's your little sister, Marcia." Where Marcia says, "Hi, Auntie Tiara. I can't wait to play with you." Where Diamond Tiara says, "I cannot believe my niece is coming to visit." Where Diamond Tiara says, "She is sweet and kind and so small." Where Diamond Tiara says, "I love her." Where Diamond Tiara says, "Oh no, this is terrible." Where Pepper says, "What's wrong, Diamond Tiara? I thought you wanted to see Marcia." Where Diamond Tiara says, "I do, but she's coming to visit, and I never played before." Where Diamond Tiara says, "I don't know how to play." Where Pepper says, "Don't worry, Diamond Tiara. We'll teach you how to play. You'll go to the park with us. Come on." Where Diamond Tiara says, "I'm gonna miss my home." Where Pepper says, "The park is awesome, right?" Where Pepper says, "You can play on swings or the slide." Where Pepper says, "Or the monkey bars." Where Diamond Tiara says, "The monkey bars? No way, I'm not a monkey." Where Pepper says, "Okay, then how about you can play on the slide?" Where Pepper says, "Here I go." Then Pepper says, "Woohoo!" Then Diamond Tiara says, "Why do you keep saying woohoo?" And the just like that when Diamond Tiara says, "Why do you keep saying woohoo?" Then Pepper said, "Because going down the slide is so much fun. Try it, you'll love it."